It's time for our second Tyron Stokes update in as many days. Tyron Stokes is returning to AAU basketball. Breaking news, number one prospect in the 2026 class would like to play basketball. That's exciting. Shout out to Jacob Polachek in all seriousness. Polachek KSR, friend of the program. We've gone on his pod before. We need to get him on Sleepers at some point, but he's constantly covering Kentucky in the best way possible. And yesterday we came here to do a Tyron Stokes update after Tyron canceled his visit to Kentucky. He was supposed to be at Lexington this weekend. And Carter and I hypothesized that the abrupt canceling of this visit, mixed in with Dame Sarr decommitting from Kansas or moving off of Kansas, may lead to some reclassifying options for Tyron Stokes at either a Kansas or maybe even a Louisville, the other two schools he's really looked at. This is getting more and more complicated because Kentucky and Jacob Polachek and everybody at KSR is seemingly reporting that there's nothing to worry about from him canceling his Kentucky visit. I think Tipton was on with Jacob yesterday and basically said, hey, this was just logistics. He's going to visit later on. We're going to push this off, new date. It makes sense why we're doing it. Everybody feels great. 2 thumbs up. And then an hour later, Tyron Stokes announces he is going to play AAU basketball again. So he's joining the Oakland Soldiers in Memphis this weekend. So maybe that's why he had to cancel his visit to Lexington, is to go return to playing basketball again. Dude, I don't know what's going on. His family has told us from the jump that he's not reclassifying. All of his decisions until now have indicated he was trying to reclassify. And now it seems he's back on the original timeline, 2026, play my AAU. I'll be patient with my visits. Everybody take a deep breath. In fact, Ralph, Tyron Stokes himself wants everyone to take a deep breath because he tweeted last night, why can't y'all give a kid some privacy? Well, Tyron, a lot of people are interested in what you're doing, and you do a lot of confusing things, my friend. Help me make sense of this, Ralph. What's going on with his return to AAU basketball?
I think there are still innocent things that happen, right? There are still innocent things that happen. Could very well be that maybe he was trying to reclassify, could not, or did not want to, decided he did not want to reclassify. So he's going to go play AAU, go play in the Nike UIBL circuit, which is great. That's what rising seniors do. Well, the team he's going to play with has a tournament the time I'm supposed to go visit Kentucky. I now have a year. So, Kentucky, we're going to do this another time. There are not innocent ways to do this as well, which are much more what we're used to with top college basketball prospects. But I do think you have to give some credence to the fact that this may just be what everybody is trying to calm things down with. That there's just an innocent, like, we made a decision and now we got to pivot some other things around because we're not reclassing.
Yeah, okay, let me just deep breath. I want to take my own deep breath. I feel like Tyron's telling everyone to take a deep breath, and the KSR, Jacob, everyone's sort of just like, let's calm down with this report. I'm going to take my own deep breath here for a second. I think Tyron Stokes is very good at basketball. And sometimes when recruitments get complicated and weird and we start to analyze, like, what are these decisions meaning? Sometimes it can get lost. This kid's really good at basketball. He's just an awesome basketball player. He's the number one player in the class for a reason. I love watching him play basketball. So, like, rather than overreact to, like, is he in 25 class? Is he in 26 class? Is he visiting Kentucky? Is he not? I want to just take a moment to celebrate the fact that the best player in the class wants to play AAU basketball again.
Yes.
I think he should do this. I think every top prospect should play AAU. Otherwise, what are you hiding from? That's always been my thing. I never loved the idea that it was Tyron Stokes and a couple other guys at the top of the class were like, we don't want to hurt our NIL valuations. Are you afraid of people seeing you play basketball? It would be awful for the sport if that happened. So, Tyron, as a fan of yours, thank you for just playing basketball again. I want to see this. This video is presented by Underdog Fantasy, and they've got a free pick tonight that you're going to want to take advantage of. Anthony Edwards to score over 0.5 points. Ant scores every single playoff game, as far as I know. Card, has he ever not scored?
Not since I've been alive, and that's 32 years for those wondering out there.
That pick sounds extremely free. Promo code SLEEPERS as a first-time depositor at Underdog Fantasy. You can get up to $1,000 in bonus bets and a free pick. This is the shortest ad read we've ever done. You're welcome. Back to the video. Now, I think if you are doing the like whiteboard stuff here, going back to AAU would signal to me that we're slowing the whole recruitment down. Whether or not you believed his family on the reclassification being serious or not, it seemed like there were some schools that were at least going to try and get him to reclassify late. He's sort of been put on the back burner to the side with a school like Kansas, where, hey, if we miss out on all our top targets, which they have, by the way, this is an option to get us out of jail free. Throw all the money at Tyran Stokes and get him here a year early. It had seemed that was going to be at least on the table for the long run, as long as he wasn't playing AAU basketball. So in sequence, for Tyron to say, hey, I don't need to go to Kentucky right now, mixed with, I'm just going to go hoop this weekend. Big sign that he is comfortable staying in the 26 class, and we don't need to rush things right now. I would actually take this development as a positive if I am a Kentucky fan. Even though he canceled the visit, it probably means, you know what, 26 is the move. And I think Kentucky always made more sense for Tyron Stokes in 26 than they did in 25.
I agree. And I understand the panic because typically when recruits and highly sought after recruits cancel visits, it means the team is out, or it means the team is falling down the list and there's somewhere else or something else he is doing in regards to his recruitment. Well, we know that Tyron Stokes is not doing anything else with his recruitment this weekend. We know where he is going to be. We know what he is going to be doing. What he is doing should not concern Kentucky and his recruitment. If anything, gives Kentucky another chance to go watch him play against other good high school players, right? So, like, from that standpoint, it's the action itself without context can create concern. Context, I think it should alleviate the concern a whole hell of a lot.
Totally agree. The EYBL session this weekend that he is joining for, by the way, is in Memphis. Quick side note, do you know who was most recently in Memphis?
Penny Hardaway.
There's a big-time head coach not at Memphis that was in Memphis this week.
Who was in Memphis this week?
John Calipari was in Memphis this week.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's even an option. As far as I know, John Calipari's not even involved for Tyron Stokes, but just pointing it out. He's in Memphis. Listen, if I was Bill Self, I'd be in Memphis this weekend. As Dom Mesar pulls out, I'd be courtside in Memphis this weekend to watch Tyron Stokes. So I don't think, going back to AAU, I don't think that means for sure that anything is finalized here. There's still going to be coaches trying to pitch him on reclassifying, still going to be coaches trying to land him. But it's a step in the right direction if you're a Kentucky fan and you wanted Tyron Stokes in the class of 2026. Can we also just take a moment to applaud Kentucky reporters? And obviously Jacob is the one who broke this story. But I would just like to applaud Kentucky reporters for the fact that whenever even one thing goes minorly wrong for Kentucky, they find out why and report on it within an hour. It's incredible.
They are on it. And they also, generally speaking, reporters of that kind know things that maybe they can't say or don't divulge. And the fact that like they're coming out and like, it's okay, don't worry. I would think it's okay and do not worry.
It's just so special. It's why Kentucky is the biggest, baddest, best, because like literally one thing goes minorly wrong and we have an explanation to calm everyone down within seconds. It's great. Speaking of calming people down, Tyron Stokes, he was addressing Kentucky fans directly, wasn't he? With a tweet, why can't y'all give a kid some privacy?
That feels like a very thing you would need to tell Big Blue Nation. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's the one negative here. The Tyron Stokes feels he needs to address Kentucky fans this early when he's not even, he's still playing high school ball. I don't know. Maybe like, again, deep breaths, right? Is that the takeaway from all of this?
Deep breaths. Let's slow things down a little bit. Let's enjoy being a kid a little bit more.
Do you want to do the Dochi breathing exercise real quick, Rob? Yeah. Want to do one of those?
Just, we're okay. Everything's fine. It's Friday.